Heard you a snitch, nigga be quiet cause you could get bitch. I keep a chopper, it's loaded. Hop with the rolls, got my name on the curtain. Fucking your thought and I do that for certain. And I stay clean like detergent. Popping on Xannies and popping on Perk. Burn up on me, you get cut like a turkey. I just want this bitch inside of Billy. I'm open no roof, got stars up on the roof. So my freedom.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of What If Izuku Midori had Lazarus Pit as a quirk. Yeah, I know it's like probably pretty late when this is going to be uploaded. But, I'm going to be real with you. It's kind of hard not uploading. It's weird. Because, like... know what? Never mind. Let's just get into it. Because if I start going off, I'm going to ramble like a motherfucker. Let's go. But, yeah. We started off with Izuku. I'm not going to lie to you. I went on the number generator again. I rolled like a D3. I rolled a 2. So, Shigaraki's mother is coming back to life. So, yeah. Well, at least at the moment. So, yeah. Is one of the people that Izuku ended up, like, getting to was a very, like, basically an arm of this woman that he was like, huh. And he's like, who the fuck was this? And it's like, was apparently a woman by one of the people at the Shimura family. We could not find the husband or his body. He just kind of picks up the arm, looks at it, sees like the frayed edges that looked like it was like decayed. Which make Izuku ponder for a minute. Nod a couple times, and he's like, I don't know if I could bring this back. Let's see here. And he basically gets some, like, a lot of his blood. Because Izuku, like, when he was in the cult, he was always one of the types of people that were like, hey, all this shit, since my blood has rejuvenative abilities, fuck it, I'm gonna make a big old tub of this shit eventually. And he's like, alright, I'm happy that I had enough blood in this, because fuck, and I'm happy my blood is recyclable, because this shit can't carry diseases. So, Izuku kind of just fills up about something the size of a swimming pool, and like rites are being done. Like, because there's this whole spiritual aspect of the church of, well, the prophet. Which I still haven't made a name of the church. All that I know, is that it's like death themed. So I'm kind of thinking like Cult Mortis. Yeah, no, Mort. Yeah, fuck Mort. Why not? And I know. I'm thinking, why the fuck are you naming like a death, like a partial death cult to like that fucking little demon thing from the Madagascar films? And it's like, I just realized and remembered that Mort means death. So put that as you will. But Yeah. Yeah, it's like his cult's probably gonna be like Mort Ministratum, like some weird out of Warhammer, but deal with it. So she is not the only one being brought back. Like I said last episode, it is a ritualistic thing. The clothes are removed from the dead and almost like on very small, like semi-buoyant things, they put like almost like put the bodies into the pool. And Izuku also does, like, they all have like small holes in it, so they will eventually sink and then rise back up when they become conscious. Yes, and they're like just like, I need air. But yes, Izuku is like definitely like thinking and trying to like make sure that things like this will work. Like that you specifically do not need Izuku for his blood to function like this. And it's truthful, which would inevitably like come to pass. And this would be the first interesting thing that Izuku has done like this in a very long time. He never done it with just an arm, though. And, like, he could partially see through his own blood, which is weird. But just for plot reasons, I'm letting him do this. The arm begins to twitch and begin to reform slowly but surely. But it is reforming. And Izuku realizes that his blood is less potent the longer it's in, like, it's been used, like, the more it's been used. It's interesting. But since there's, like, the sheer amount of it to, like, fit a, like, swimming pool, and I'm not talking, like, those, like, $15 kiddie pools that you get for, like, your 6-year-old kid. This is like a high school swimming pool. And it's deep as shit. And as everyone else of that, like, that group comes up out of the water, except for Shiggy's mom, because she's still being, like, reformed. They're, like, all in their 20s. And, like, when they all get out, they're almost praised as, like, higher, not higher beings, but, like, higher up in the cult. You know what I mean? Because, like, some of these people died of natural means, like, not of, like, disease. I'm talking, like, old age. So, like, Izuku has some fucking loyalists in his group. Yeah, sure, but, like, you're gonna have to, like, pledge your life to Izuku to, and, like, have Izuku be, like, himself fucking tuning you, like, fucking with your head for a long time. which Izuku would eventually brainwash the people. But it wouldn't be like... It would be more as if... How do I say this more? With my chest a little bit more. Izuku, like I said, is a cult leader. Through and through. He is not a hero. Sure as shit, not a bad person. His mother is his second in command. I'm not even joking. High Priestess. It's Inko Midoriya. Like, those two people, like, Inko is fucking rich in this one. Same with fucking Izuku. And since, like, the mentality, like, they don't worship Izuku. Izuku says that he's a prophet to a god, which, basically will allow life as long as you pledge yourself in his service. Which, granted, people do know, like, how fucking strong Izuku is. He does not hide his supernatural strength and intellect at all. Not one bit. So, I'm not gonna lie to you, since Izuku looks like he's 20, like 22, he's gonna, like, go to one of his underground contacts, one of the fairly high people in the church that are, like, involved with making identification, stuff like that, and just basically, like, ask for his aid so I may no longer have to leave you for doing my job. Which would eventually lead to this slight back and forth with Izuku offering a bit more of his blood. Which, who the fuck isn't gonna take another fucking tiny ass from the fountain of youth? You crazy? Bitch, please. Anyway. But, yeah. Izuku gives about a shot glass worth of blood. And, yeah. Izuku gets a new ID. He, like, gets a new look. And he begins, like, acting like he's someone else entirely. Izuku's name, for all intents and purposes, for UA, it will be Reznov. He will be a Russian exchange student. And basically what's happening is, like, Izuku, who just needed a smarter habitat for him to cultivate knowledge. So, they shipped him to UA. You know, where the smartest being in existence is, quote unquote. But, yeah. Izuku just basically asked his quirk as, like, super intelligence and super strength. And, like, have that slightly mix into it. But, yeah. Granted, it was, like, difficult, and it took, like, 5 out of the 10 months to get this done. But, like, we're gonna go back a couple days before the 10 month is up. Shigaraki's mother is finally, like, there. And now, here's the specific thing. Like, people were starting to doubt in Izuku's capability. And it's like, does the prophet have a fault? Which, like, questions were levied. And Izuku just said, give it time. My fellow followers, give it time, and death will seep out. After all, it was only just an arm. God must weave flesh and bone. Give him time, and have faith. So they do, and they wait. The 5-month period, half of it is up. And that is when Izuku has just been, like, waiting there. Because he's, like, seeing her regrow as time goes on. Now, Izuku, to be honest, hasn't moved. At all. Like, and I mean stock fucking still. Legs crossed, just waiting. Because an arm, he's, like, wants to double check if she remembers who she fucking is. Because if he could, like, revive people from, like, their arm, God knows, like, if he can, like, revive people from their, like, fucking pinky. He doesn't know. Which, when she finally emerges outwards from the pool, like an hour before she did, Izuku gathered every single fucking cultist and just, like, had a chair ready for her. Just waiting. And prayers are being uttered out by some. Others are waiting with anticipation because, and some are just, like, still with hanging doubt. Izuku says about a couple seconds before she breaches the surface, to have doubt in me is to have doubt in God, for he speaks through me. As Shigaraki's mother, out of the water, or huffing and puffing for breath, as she comes swimming out to see Izuku sitting there and tapping a chair right next to him. On top of it, where he is tapping on that chair, is also clothes. And the ring left on her finger. And she began to talk to Izuku. And Izuku listened. After she, like, got dressed, she began to speak. She began to tell of how she died. And Izuku hears about the child of hers. And how it has gone missing. Izuku catching her up on how long she was dead. That your child is fully grown. Telling her many things. And when it comes down to it, he's speaking to her and he's like saying, like, everyone in like the main chapel cathedral hears this story about how a child of decay killed her, which immediately like set things off, like, child of decay. And Izuku's eyes widened in realization of the fucking fortune that he has been given. And he immediately tells everyone in that church to listen. Find that boy. He is grown now. God knows what his appearance is. But find him. He seems to have accidentally done something horrible. And I wish to guide him back. I wish to bring him back to his mother. The name of Shigaraki's mother is uttered throughout the above ground. So that shit reaches into the fucking, like, deepest, darkest holes in the underground. And as soon as Shigaraki, like, heard the name in full, and where she was being held, in which, like, I'm gonna say All For One got the news a bit late. And the best way that I could say this is that Shigaraki just goes to the church, the main chapel, where his mother should be. Now, Kurogiri wondering where he was going. Shigaraki was certain that he could tell Kurogiri. He wanted to see it for himself. He wanted to check on something. And then, by God, he did. His, he goes to the church, the cathedral, damn near in the center of that region of Japan. And there are, like, always people moving and shaking through Japan. But, like, this one day is silent in that specific spot. Because there is a fucking ceremony going on raising all the people who would survive to, like, higher, like, the equivalency of fucking bishops. Izuku has an entire little just thing going on. And people will just eat that shit up. I'm not even... Izuku is smarter than usual. than a man of his age should be. So Shigaraki's looking for the fucking like address of this main chapel building. And Izuku is just sitting on the porch of the main chapel building, waiting. Because he knew if that kid was around in Japan still, he would come. Who wouldn't? That's their supposedly dead mother. I'm gonna say this is about a week before the actual entrance exam. And I'm gonna say low key, like, there are. Ooh. I'll deal with that later. Low key, there have been like snipers posted up because they didn't know how Shiggy would react. And Izuku like making sure, nah, he ain't gonna make it out if he does try some shit. Like, Izuku got a fucking militia. And it's like just there. Like to exist. So Shigaraki sees the guy that All For One wanted to get to. Just sitting and looking at him dead in the eyes. Now, granted, like, Korigiri is afar watching this when he gets a call from All For One. And he says, where is Shigaraki and why is he not picking up his phone? While this conversation with All For One and Korigiri is happening, one is happening simultaneously with Izuku. I will deal with their conversation first and then back to them, to Shigaraki and Izuku. And he's like, he's at the main chapel of the of the Mort Ministratum. And it's like, as soon as he fucking, like, All For One hears that, and he's like, fuck. Like, I'm just like, there's an audible, god damn it. Get him out. Get him out now. No, because, like, low-key, there's also been, like, another vibe kind of going on in the church. And to say that, like, people don't have spies in that church is not, it's not a lie. But, Izuku just kind of Izuku knows whose spies are who, and they're fed specific information for each to satiate. So, like, literally, everyone knows that, like, hey, this kid, this Shimura kid, which All Might fucking hears that shit same time as fucking All For One does. So, guess who's coming to the fucking chapel? It's your boy. But, yeah. Let's just say fucking, as soon as he heard, fucking something Shimura, fucking head, like, he almost snaps his neck. Neck just like, what? What the fuck? Like, because he was, like, thinking, nah, she didn't have family. There's no way. Like, he's just like, it's either he's trying to call me out and he knows shit that he should not know, or he's like actually, but no, in all reality, he does not know the significance of like this kid's family. So, yeah. When it comes down to that, Izuku's just kind of, like, okay, hey, I'm just trying to reunite a fucking mom and their son. And that's about it. Like, apparently they used to have a dog. They don't have anything of the dog, so I'm like, I don't fucking know. I would have brought back the puppy. I most certainly would have brought back the puppy. Because he is like, he has done this to pets. Because why wouldn't he not? Because, like, I want you to imagine, like, having a fucking, like, a dog that, like, if you get hit by a car, like, if it gets hit by a car, like, it'll go flying, and, like, seemingly be cut in half, and then, like, the organs, which are still attached to either side, just kind of slurp both sides back together. Tell me with a straight face, that would not be creepy as fuck, especially if someone's trying to pull some fuck shit on the church. Like, especially if doggy get fucking lassied. Like, just, like, on some Cujo shit. But, yeah. In all reality, like, there's almost like a convergence on the church. And it's not, like, All For One isn't going there. But, like, he knows that, like, he's basically gonna lose Shigaraki if he fucking, and, like, doesn't do something rather important. So, he's trying to, like, think, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, why? And it's like, there's this entire conversation between Korigiri and All For One about how the fuck are we gonna get him away from his mother. And it's like, I mean, we could kill his mother again, and it's like, but yeah, no, like, he's a worshiper of that fucking cult, though. Like, we can't kill them, or we're fucked. It's like, what do you mean? I mean, like, realize what he thinks happened. A wild quirk activation. If, like, there is an assassination on his mother, Shiggy's gonna be pissed at whoever done fucking did it. And if she knows who killed her, and she gets brought back, she fucking snitches to, like, Izuku, their fucking prophet, does in air quotes, we're fucked. Because I don't know if that's quirk. Because I can't, like, I don't know. I, honest to God, don't have a fucking clue. So, there's this entire, like, conversation of a slight All For One freaking the fuck out. Because this kid is, like, 200 years older than him, which, when it comes down to the age department, he knows for a fact, older you are, we like vampires, Chief. Older you are, you got some special shit. But, yeah. Izuku specifically, we're gonna switch to Shigaraki and Izuku's little chat now. Now that I, like, put the fucking severity on the table. Shit about to get weird. Izuku and Shigaraki begin talking. It's nothing violent. This is probably, like, the calmest Shigaraki has ever been. Which is fucking, like, this kind of sus. But, yeah, no, out of everything, he's more nervous. Now that I think about it, because he's, like, worried, is my mother still going to love me because I accidentally killed her? Which, it's Izuku and him proceed to have a much more honest, down-to-earth conversation. And it's like a 5-minute long conversation. So eventually, like, Izuku would be hearing thumps off in the distance, and he knows, like, two things that can make that thump. Him, when he's purposefully, like, jumping off of buildings to prove a point, or All Might. Right, and he's like, okay. And he just kind of like, he ushers Shigaraki inside. Shigaraki would come in, like, and as soon as, like, Korigiri sees fucking All Might fucking slam down, kinda close by, alright, there's this fucking, like, fear that gets put into fucking Korigiri, because there are two things that, like, freak him out. One is Korigiri is also, like, explaining everything that's happening to All For One on the phone. So literally Korigiri and fucking All For One are starting to lose their shit because the fucking person that Shigaraki's grandmother taught to kill me, to beat my ass, is now here. Like, fuck. Granted, he got weaker, but I don't know what's his extent. And I don't want to fight him there. Because whoever starts shit in that territory is fucking stirring up a fucking civil war. Or, granted, they are like church freaks, but they are on some, like, Fallout 5. I mean, not Fallout 5. What the fuck? No. Ew. Anyway, I'm more talking like they're on some, like, Far Cry. I want to say 6 or 5. The one with, like, the Jesus cult. Oh, with, like, the super dank drugs. Those ones. But, yeah. I'm specifically talking about, like, how it will start. That's kind of like how they are. They are already, like, militarized as fuck. The entirety of that cult is a militia. And they have full fucking right. That entire city blocks their fucking property. And unless you got, like, a permit that says, I could do this here, you're, like, they have full right to cap you. Like, no joke at all. They could just shoot you in the fucking head and, like, have no fucking repercussions. Because Izuku's basically fucking got the mayor in his pocket as long as, same with, like, most of the law. Except for, like, one person, which is fucking Naoimasa, because I'm not about to take away All Might's police contact. Not in this one. But, God, this makes me want to watch Vampire the Masquerade. Shit. But anyway, more specifically, when All Might lands, he doesn't know which church, like, which address it is, because, like, the only person that, like, really just knows where the fuck they needed to go, well, they didn't even really tell them where they needed to go, right? Izuku would just be sitting on the porch, waiting for, like, days on end for, like, the kid to show up. Which he believes that he has, because has the same hair, has weird eyes and chapped fucking lips. Think that's it. But anyway. But yeah. All Might's basically like trying to figure out which fucking building he needs to go into. And then he realizes, if I get seen here, I'm gonna look like one of these fucking culties. Culties, and these people are batshit crazy. In like his eyes, and most of everyone else's, which granted, it's like it's honest. But yeah, no, in all reality, when Shigaraki gets brought in and he sees his mother, because she has her own room, Izuku was able to like bring Shigaraki there, and as most people would stare at Shigaraki, and Izuku would fucking part like the Red Sea. Just Izuku be walking in, not giving a fuck, like not in the slightest, and then he just knocks on her door. She says to come in. He opens the door. Shigaraki sees his fucking mother. The exact same way that she fucking died, which was like, I'm gonna say that Shigaraki was like, when this happened, I remember he was like 4. I'm gonna say his mother was like 25. She had Shigaraki at like 19, which yet is a young, but hey. But yeah. She basically like looks at Shigaraki, eyes filled with water, charge him and fucking like just tackle hug him. Like, Izuku makes sure that Shiggy don't fucking fall, but like, he's just reuniting family. And like, this warms Izuku's heart. He's happy. He's like, I did a good thing. And I do a fair bit of good already, but this is happiness. Like, no matter how, like, because of Izuku's mindset, his head has not changed at all. Like, Izuku, granted, he's extremely less shy, just in general, but, like, to be real with you, Izuku's mindset was the only thing from keeping him going down a darker path. His idea of making a cult was him having a fucking lucid dream about, like, him bringing people back. And basically having slight scenes, so people would call it a premonition. But in all reality, it was just a dream that Izuku had once, which is now reality. Which, now that Izuku has, like, reunited a family, he's pretty happy. Izuku begins walking out of the room, giving the family their moment. And, like, just in case, like, he did, like, take some of her blood and, like, a lot of flesh samples. Because, to be real, Izuku wants to, like, he accidentally did it last time. Yeah, sure, he was like 4. Gotta make sure. Like, no. Making sure that shit don't happen. But, yeah, it'll probably be longer, but I'm gonna say that Izuku, he's happy. He goes out, like, to, like, the front area. and he sees this one guy, looks like he came in off the fucking street. Baggy clothes, it's fucking Small Mate. Like, it's Toshi. And like, he's like, alright, game face on. Time to bring another one in. Like, he had to come in here for like a reason. Let's see if I could twist his thoughts a little bit. Like, he's just a little bit. Unless he's actually looking for like salvation. But if anyways, I'm like, hey, neat. But yeah. Izuku begins like, walks up to him, begins talking to him, like just having an honest to God, a chat with him. Like, and All Might begins to notice something. Like, with how Izuku acts, people read this kid, like, fucking wrong. Well, at least that's from what I could see. At the moment. And, like, they end up having a conversation for about an hour. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And, like, eventually, like, All Might would start talking about, like, how he was friends with a woman called Nana Shimura. And as soon as Izuku fucking hears the name Shimura, he's like, his eyes go wide and he's like, wait, what? Wait, there's what? That there was a, huh. He kind of just looks up and is like, okay. Nana Shimura. Gotcha. It's like, I see. So, he begins, like, talking about the two people that, like, just came in, like, I want to say, like, a couple minutes before he did. Just start talking and talking and talking. Izuku, like, does, like, know what privacy is. So he doesn't, like, take him to their room because, like, they're having a fucking moment. It's been, like, an hour, but, like, they got a couple years to catch up on. But, yeah, no, he basically begins telling the story of what happened, and All Might's, like, starting to, like, remember a very old case file that was, like, might have been related to All For One, right? Like, a kid accidentally fucking dusted his two parents, and the only thing left was an arm. Both of them were the cult's part of Izuku's cult, so they had rights to the body. So, well, the body part. But, like, they did let the police, like, do proper shit to it to make sure, like, okay, how long did this person die? Stuff like that. But, when it comes down to it, Izuku basically, he tells him to the extent, like, like, what he believes to be the fucking pinnacle of his healing. It doesn't have a limit. Which All Might is like thinking, if she is actually alive, I could get my fucking lungs fixed. And, like, All Might begins, like, his plan is not to tell anyone about this fucking injury. Like, ever. Ever. Like, not a fucking bit. But, he begins asking about the healing process, and Izuku looks at him with the same fucking creepy ass smile. And he says, oh, it's kind of fucking weird. Are you sure you want to know about it? And he's like, sure. Oh, you gotta bathe in my blood. And it's like, what? What the fuck? Like, yeah. There's like 90% of people, well, not 90, but like most of everyone here are like in their 20s because of it. My blood heals you and reverses time. That basically makes you in your prime, full kilter, ready to slap the fuck out of people. People, if need be, right? Right, and you look like you're in your mid-30s. I bet I could turn the clock back for you. Like, let me see the injury. And like, as soon as All Might puts his fucking like thing up, and he's like, "Oh, is that it? Is that it? Really?" I was like, "Dude, I just brought back like an arm, like not like a full arm, like down to like halfway to the wrist, like wrist down, like underneath your elbow, damn near to the wrist, someone's arm." I brought him back to life from that, so yeah, I'm pretty certain that this will be a fucking cakewalk. And all I would ask of you is worship. Worship of the god of death. All Might's like, I could lie, but he's gonna turn my fucking body back. According to him, he's going to turn my body back all the way to when. And I was fucking 20? I'm in my 40s. All Might getting old. He's starting to get back problems. About having to fucking put everybody on it. But anyway. But, yeah. Izuku and All Might proceed to talk more and more and more and more and more. And then he, like, Izuku is fucking able to convince him to. Because he sees, like, there's an actual need to do this, other than, like, oh yeah, no, this causes a lot of pain. There's something else to it. And Izuku doesn't know what it is, but he's like, I'm gonna figure it out. Don't worry, I will. But, yeah, this was, my first video back from vacation. Hope you all enjoyed the rare intro that I, like the intro that I rarely, like, ever do, because fuck. Because that's just how I am. These videos are like 40 minutes long. That tacks another fucking 15 minutes onto the process. But yeah. For some reason, he knows. But like, I'm gonna just say this now before I actually end it. Those people who be botting and like putting links to porn sites on this channel, I hope you get cancer. Like, legit, I hope you die slowly. I hope you get, like, cancer, fall down the stairs, lose all feeling in your neck down, and are bedridden for the rest of your life. That is the type of shit that I don't like you. And I think your parents didn't too. But yeah. Hope all of you, except for that one nigga, have a very nice day. Bye.